Welcome to the Stoic Quotient, the space where ancient wisdom meets modern chaos. We don't offer you noise, we offer clarity, because in a world built on confusion, discernment is a radical act. And here, you're not just a viewer, you're part of a movement. Let's talk about the collapse of trust, how disinformation destroys truth, mental health, and society. This is a Stoic wake-up call. When truth collapses, society doesn't just fracture, it bleeds from the inside out. Families become divided by headlines, communities grow hostile in echo chambers, and the soul of a nation begins to rot under the weight of collective suspicion. In this explosive episode of the Stoic Quotient, we tear the mask off mass disinformation, media distortion, and the institutional betrayal that has left billions emotionally paralyzed. This isn't just about fake news. It's a systematic assault on human trust, on our sanity, and on the very fabric that holds people together. Because when you can't believe what you see, hear, or feel, your entire inner world begins to crumble. Relationships feel unsafe. Decisions become paralyzed. Anxiety, rage, and hopelessness spike. This is emotional warfare disguised as entertainment and censorship wearing a smile. But there is a way through the chaos. Through Stoic wisdom, you'll learn how to reclaim your perception, guard your peace, and become unshakable in a world built on confusion. This isn't just information, it's your survival code, and we're just getting started. The collapse of trust. There is a silence spreading across the world, a silence not of peace, but of disconnection, of people turning off the news, tuning out leaders, and muting each other, not because they don't care, but because they no longer know what to believe. We've entered an era where every headline is suspect, every institution carries an agenda, and even personal relationships fracture over competing truths. We scroll endlessly. We hear one story, then the opposite, then the retraction. And after a while, we stop trusting altogether. This isn't just about misinformation. This is about the death of shared reality. What happens when trust dies? When trust collapses, so does cooperation. Communities divide, friendships dissolve, families stop talking, nations become paranoid, and individuals become numb, anxious, or enraged, cycling between cynicism and helplessness. It's not just what's happening in the world, it's the internal cost of living in a fog of distortion. We are grieving something we can't name, the loss of certainty, the erosion of safety, the haunting suspicion that everyone is lying, including ourselves. This mass confusion becomes a breeding ground for mental health collapse. Anxiety spikes, sleep disorders rise, paranoia becomes normalized, depression spreads like wildfire. Because if you can't trust what you see, hear, or feel, how can you trust yourself? The war on perception is psychological. This isn't just a social crisis, it's a spiritual one, because beneath the algorithms and media spin, there is a deeper war. A war on your attention, your intuition, and your sanity. Disinformation isn't just an attack on facts, it's an attack on your ability to discern truth. It makes you second-guess your instincts. It makes you afraid to speak. It trains you to comply, or go numb. And when people are numb, they're easy to control. The Stoic way, truth without tribalism. This is where Stoicism becomes not just helpful, but necessary. The Stoics didn't chase public opinion. They didn't cling to mass consensus. They asked one question: what is mine to control? And the answer was always, my perception, my values, my actions, my pursuit of truth, regardless of the consequences. Marcus Aurelius, during times of plague and political instability, wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." He knew what we're just beginning to remember. Truth is not found in the crowd, it's forged in solitude. In a time when everyone is shouting, the Stoic learns to listen. In a time of manipulation, the Stoic chooses clarity over comfort. And in a time of collapsing trust, the Stoic remains anchored in virtue, not narrative. How to reclaim your inner compass. So what can we do? Turn down the noise, protect your nervous system, choose what enters your mind like you choose what enters your body. Practice radical honesty. In a world of distortion, your integrity becomes your rebellion. Resist tribalism. The truth doesn't belong to the left or the right, it belongs to the courageous. Study patterns, not just headlines. Ask, who profits from this message, who suffers? Return to stillness. Epictetus said, it's not things that disturb us, but our opinion of them. Clarity comes when the mind is calm. This is not the end, it's the threshold. We're not hopeless, we're just disoriented. But history shows us, when enough people start seeing clearly, systems built on lies crumble. And trust doesn't have to come from the outside. It can be rebuilt within. Through character, through practice, through aligning your life with what is real, even if it's inconvenient. This is your call to rise, to become the one in your family, your community, your timeline, who sees through the fog. Here at the Stoic Quotient, we won't tell you what to think, but we'll help you remember how to see. We are the voice that refuses to be silenced by chaos. We ask the questions others are afraid to ask, and we anchor you in the wisdom they've tried to erase. So, stay with us. We will continue this conversation in the next video. Because your clarity matters, you are not alone. You are supported. You are loved. Welcome to the Stoic Quotient, where your discernment is your revolution. Thanks for being here with us.